I'm in a situation where Matthew's causing trouble and I can leave, then I'm going to leave. That's always the best answer to the solution. If your answer to the solution is to give Matthew a beating, that's not a good answer. And if you just can't help yourself, then hold it in and bring it in here. And we'll let you give us a beating. Stay out of trouble. The situation is you cannot disengage from this peaceably. You've got to take other actions. Either yourself is hampered or somebody else is hampered. And you just happen to be in the middle of it. My stance. My elbows are in, my hands are open. My foot slightly back. The visual is I don't want to fight. The visual is not I do want to fight. So there's a subtle dropping back of the feet. I'm not square, it's subtle. Elbows are in, hands are up, and I want to stay outside of Matthew's kicking range. Most guys can't kick, but I don't want to be outside of Matthew's punching range in case he can kick, or the gap right now is too quickly closed. I can't react fast enough from here, so I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt. Think about the kicking range. The range in the fight solves 90% of the problem. You get comfortable with these range differences, it makes everything a hell of a lot easier. I've got a little bit of space, so I'm going to play with that space right now. Matthew's excited to start the fight, and he's even more excited because he thinks that I don't want to fight with him, which is the presence that I'm giving him. So he steps forward. I step back, and I keep that same space. He steps forward again, I keep that same space, again reiterating that I don't want this encounter to happen. He steps in, again I step in. Crash. And I close the space faster than he can react. As I step in, my shoulders come up, my chin tucks, and both of my hands come up high. And I run into Matthew. As I run into him, I push. And as I push, I start to engulf. And I want to end up with his arm, trap behind the arm, put his wrist in my armpit if I can, and clamp down on it. Hard to pull his arm out. This hand, I'm looking for the hip bone. Sometimes he's too girthy to grab a hold of something over there. Grab that hip. My head in the center of his chest. My knees on either side of his, slightly in, and my weight is down from here. I don't want to leave myself any exposure once I get in there. Things are going to happen quickly. For practice sake, 3 steps is the easiest. I don't have space, my back's against the wall, Matthew steps in, boom, right off the bat, I can start this engagement. But for practice sake and getting used as distance and all those types of things, 3 steps is just the easiest to play with. So don't think that you have to wait for 3 steps. It's just easier to practice and get set up that way. In reality, you can go on any step. But again, I need to get used to this spatial relationship and what it feels like. He steps in. I step back. Keep that distance. Don't let it close. He steps in again. Keep that space. He's more excited now. He steps in. I go. Crash. Push. Don't crash back. Crash in. Drive in. If I end up anywhere but the side, that's where I'm going. Hips close, knees close, head close. Trap everything tight. Let's start with that a little bit. Play with that catch before working a little bit.